Hi guys, here is the full review for the Futaba 4Px. As you saw in my previous unboxing and quick overview video, that was just me getting to know what's inside the box, sharing it with you, and running through trial and error of what's going on with the radio. So in this video, I just wanted to cover off all the major features of the radio, some of what the knobs and the switches are, and the reason I'm putting this in-depth video together is that I myself was never able to get either a hands-on experience with the radios that I wanted to buy. This is my first high-end radio, or I never saw a video that really, gave me that little extra bit from what I got on the website or the manual or so on. It is a big investment. We work hard for the money, so we need to know what we're putting our money in, and it's great to have an overview beforehand so we make up our mind on the right radio. So in this instance, we're going to make sure, or I'm going to make sure that you guys know what you're getting. So just on that, what I'm going to do is, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the radio on, and then I'm going to run through some of the features. And here we go. So I'm going to power it on. Yeah. And what I'm going to do right away is I'm just going to run you through some of the visuals. So as you know, this is the flagship radio for Futaba, and it's come after the 4PK series, the 4PKS, 4PK, 4PKS, 4PK Super R. And the major points to note are, of course, the TFT color LCD screen, and I'll go through what each of the functions are that you see on top and run you through what it is that you see. There's two different versions that you're going to see. One is the Japan version, which is the one that you have in front of you over here, and then that's one that's going to be sold in the US, I think, early to mid-September. Now, again, 40 model memory. The American version comes with 2 grips. On both there is an adjustable trigger. Now what that means is you get 2 different trigger sizes, and you get to slide, as you can see over here, there is, I'll try to bring it in as close as possible. You can try to slide the trigger back and forth also, depending on the length of your trigger finger. I'm actually a righty, so does your finger extend really far? Is it too close? That sort of takes care of that. So some of the major features there. The other thing that I haven't put down yet because I haven't had time is the drop-down wheel, and that's another option. I'll probably do a video of installing the drop-down because a lot of people have asked for it. Another great thing is the large assignable switch at the bottom over here. So you can basically hit this against your body, your hand, your palm, your thumb. You could just hit it like this. You could hit it against your body. And this is an assignable switch, so you can do it to check lap times or for whatever you want. I'll get into how you do that in just a minute. Okay, so the other thing is who this radio is for. I've said before that I'm mostly a basher. I'll be racing maybe 20 to 30%. This radio is for bashers, it's for crawlers, it's for racers, it's for anybody who wants a radio that has a 40 model memory and is highly customizable. The steering wheel, the wheel here, this is a dual compound or dual stage, whatever you want to call it, foam. So it feels really nice. It's actually quite grippy. So if your hands are sweating or whatever on the track, it's got a great grip, and your fingers won't slide that easy. In addition, it is a telemetry radio, and it's a voice-activated telemetry radio, and what happens is there's no receiver bound to this right now. But just so that you know, if you have one and you do have the telemetry feature on, there is a blue light over here that will stay on. It's a bright blue light, much like the ones in the front, and that lets you know that the telemetry feature is disabled. Okay, very important question that people keep asking: what receivers are compatible with this? Well, it comes with this receiver right here, which is the R304SB. There's also a 304SBE version and F version, and this radio will take any T-FHSS, S-FHSS and FASST receivers. And the best thing is that a receiver like this, which has the quickest response time, is about $40 to $45 depending on where you buy it from. So the R304SBE comes without the antenna. I actually like the antenna, and this comes with 2 of them right in the box. So if I can bring it closer and it focuses, which it won't, these are the receivers that you get with it. It also has a hook here for you to put one of these guys on, so it's better rather than dropping your radio, it's better to get a neck strap to put this on. One of my favorite parts about this radio is the rotating antenna, and here you go. And that's it. So you don't have to worry about something breaking or it always being accessible. So that's been a real nuisance. The other thing is, this is I can never open it because I have no nails, but this right here, if I can get it open, is the micro SD card slot, which I almost have open, but here you go. Regardless, that's where it goes in. So it's hidden very well with the antenna, and you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. For the battery, and I know I didn't go over this last time, the Japan version comes with a 2S, there we go, if you can see it, it comes with a 2S life battery. It's a 1700 milliamp battery, and the really good part is you can take it out and you can install 4 AA batteries as well. So really depending on what your preference is. From what I know, with a life battery, if you're running FHSS receivers, you should get, with this particular life battery, about 10 hours of radio time, and with a fast receiver it's about 6 hours. So just again, what do you get in the Japan edition? Well, I went over it in the unboxing so you can see what you have. Wall charger, life battery, 2 receivers, drop down, am I forgetting something? Yeah, wire heads for the life battery, and a couple of other things. What you don't get is you don't get the extra grip. This is a pretty decent grip for me, and you do not get the carbon fiber handle, which you don't even get in the US edition, but I'm looking to get that separately when it does get released. Okay, now to turn to the screen. So what I'll do is, let me just reset, bring you closer, and then we'll go over what it is what features you see on the screen. So here's a closer look at the screen, and if you see on the top left, you see Model 1. So this is basically, you can do up to 15 characters for any of the models you're running, so low C10 SCTE, hot bodies DAT, whatever you're running. And these are just random names that are coming to my head, MT4G3, Thunder Tiger, so as long as it's 15 characters, you'll fit it up there. Below that, as you can see, I've put in what is my channel name and my name for RC, which is RC Maniac, BRC, Basher RC. That's also another 15 characters. Over here, you see what the time is. So this is the time, what it is right now in Hong Kong. And you can set the hour, minute, you can do it any way you want. You can do military hours as it is over here. You can do standard hours as well. This is the battery voltage display for the battery inside the radio. Right underneath there, you will see T-FHSS. So this is currently the receiver that I have it bound with. If there is nothing there, you'll only see it say display and digital. So this is a good sign to let you know that your radio is bound to whatever, well, whether it's a FAST or it's a FHSS receiver. Now, underneath there, over here, this little bit that you see over here, the little sort of, what's it called, a tower, broadcast tower, is for telemetry. And it basically lets you know what the reception strength is for your telemetry. Underneath here, when you do lock the trims, there's a little key that comes up here, so that lets you know what's going on over here. The numbers over here are for all the digital trims. So you have up to 6 different trims on this radio, and this will let you know what's going on over there. At the very bottom, these 2 over here, okay, before I get there, so the different channels over here for the trims, as you can see, I don't know how clear this is, but left and right will let you know how far it goes. So my steering trim is not at 100, I think it's at 75. So this blue light is not going all the way where it should. Underneath there, at the bottom, right over here, you have your racing timer down here. Next to that, over here, you have your steering trims upper and lower. So this is here since I don't have them set. Let me see if I can move them here. Yep, you can move them. See that? So that's one of the trims. There you go. And this, see, and you can hear the different sounds. When it comes to neutral, it gives you that buzz that lets you know. So if you're in a race or you're bashing or crawling or whatever, and you can't keep your eyes on the radio, that sound in itself, and you can set the sound to much louder than this. So that basically lets you know what's going on that front. Okay, what else? So if the radio is left idle for about 10 minutes, you'll hear an alarm and then it will shut off. That basically means if you've left your radio somewhere and you don't want the battery to drain, that's customizable as well. The other alarm is if you have a low battery while driving, it will not turn off, but it will let you know what's going on over there. To have a look at the side, we're talking about the trims, and I'll try to bring a little more light on this now so you can see what's going on, is that we've got 4 trims right here. So they're labeled as DT1, 2, 3, and 4. Then you have your steering, dual rate, and brake down here. And this is the 3rd or 4th channel switch right here next to your thumb on the grip. So this lets you know what's going on. These trims are, again, easy to use. Yeah, and everything. Everything is beepable and lets you know what's going on. If you're a lefty and you need to switch this around, it's very simple. Pop the wire out. There are cables in here that will automatically attach to it. It's a lot easier than the drop down. Again, 3rd, 4th channel assignable button, and your dual rate steering and brake trims are over here. Okay, so that pretty much covers that. Now, I've covered the battery, I've covered how to move the wheel change. Now I think it's time to get into some of the menus and the features. Now, in my last video, I was trying to adjust the lighting and how that works, and I couldn't for the life of me do it. Now, the toggle, again, it's very flat compared to the 4PK series if you've had it or you've used it before. I love this because it's flat and it doesn't stick out. You can call it a jog dial, you can call it a toggle, whatever you want. These buttons here, I'll try to zoom in for you for a second for you to be able to see. And it doesn't want to zoom in. Okay, there we go. And plus, minus. Okay, we're going to zoom back out because it doesn't like it because of the lighting. So let's just get into the menu and see what's going on. All right. Okay, that's the trigger back and forth. So everything you can see on here. There we go. So let's pull this down a bit so you get a better look at it. Okay, so what is what in here as well? I do want you to know. So there we go. If you're running nitro, and I know a lot of you will, idle up. This is a great function where you don't have to, traditionally what I've always been doing, and this is my first high-end radio, is that you're holding the trigger to 10% just so that the engine doesn't stop. You can set the idle up over there, engine cut, start. I really want to go through every function, but I don't want this video to be too long and painful. ABS brakes, mixing menu. If you have any question on what these are, I have a sheet that can basically go through what everything is, and it'll help you out as well. System menu is what I was looking for last time. Now if you look at the system menu, display, sound, LED settings, so display, brightness is only at 20. It can go much higher than that. So here's the plus minus. As you can see, it can become uncomfortably bright. I like to keep it at 20. If you're outdoors and you want to change it to your own liking, please do so. Contrast. Backlight. Again, you can change it to whatever you want. I have it at 15. I think that's ample. Minimum brightness, maximum brightness. You can set it. Decrease time, I have it at maximum. Opening, closing demo, the little sound that comes when you turn it on and off. That's that right there. If we just go back one step, sound, normal volume, this is at 16, it goes very loud. Warning volume as well. Voice volume is for the telemetry, so you can pick that as well. LED settings, I have them as always on because I really just like the way the lights look and I hate to have to touch them again and again. Battery, it auto detects. Vibrator, if you want it to vibrate, vibration, fast or slow. Auto power off, I have it on just because sometimes I don't remember, and if I'm at a pit, setting your name, easy to do. Date and time, it's kind of obvious, but I want you to see the main features. If you want to calibrate the wheel and the trigger, and of course English metric system, and the software version is right here. So we'll get out of this. What is another one that I wanted to run through with you? Timer lap, dial select. I haven't seen this before. Okay, so steering, trim, and all these functions over here. Now, there is a lot to play with on this radio, and I think that there is one more screen that I want to show you before I end this video, and that is right over here. There you go. So this basically lets you know what kind of receiver you're running. So T-FHSS, S-FHSS, FASST. And so if we just click this here, failsafe setting will be initialized. Please set the failsafe. Okay, we're not going to do anything right now. Receiver ID, telemetry on or off. And what happens is that when you're trying to bind the radio, these receivers actually came bound. So, you know, Futaba sends them to Japan like that. Or maybe the hobby shop did it, I don't know. Over here, you press it, you see lights blinking on the receiver, which I'll show you here. Red light, and it blinks solid. It takes about 20 seconds, and you have your receiver bound. So that is pretty much that. Now, so this is the overview of the entire radio. There's so much to say about this radio that I don't even know where to start. It's a beautiful radio, and like I said, I waited 2 years to pick up a high-end radio, even though this was a gift for my birthday from my uncle. I still think that people should know what they're getting. My personal recommendation, I know people are Airtronics or Sanwa guys, some are Copro Pro, you know, different radios. You know, people like Radio Post, they like, I mean, you know, there's high-end, low-end, medium-end radios. Do you need one of these radios? I mean, that's a question you need to answer yourself. But for the money, the quality of the radio that you get is just brilliant. And I know I do this every time, and I'm going to do it again, only because how beautiful this radio is. Just look at it in the dark. It's a work of art. If you have any questions, post them down below. I'm happy to answer them. I want to make sure that you guys get the right radio, you spend the money on the right thing, and whatever I can do to help in the interim, ask me the question. I will do the drop-down installation. Bear with me for a little bit. I need a couple of days to wrap up some stuff for work, and then I will do the drop-down as well. Other than that, if you have any questions, again, post them down below. I'm happy to answer them. I'm just trying to jiggle this around as I talk so you get a good view of it, of how good it looks. But it is a brilliant radio. I've done nothing but play with it for a week, go through the functions, go through it. I have played with other Futaba radios before, and I love it. But the way the radio feels in your hand means everything. If you didn't like the video, please go ahead and dislike. But I encourage you to subscribe so that whenever I do put a new video up, it takes a second to subscribe, and it lets me know that you guys are interested and I should keep making videos. Thanks again for watching. Stay tuned for more stuff. And again, the more questions, the merrier. Thanks a lot, guys.